feel like this is a good moment to start. Hello. Guess what time it is? It's D&D time. I'm Daniel, and I'm the dungeon master, and I'm joined by Megas and Falbin and Theo and Theagenes and Shade and all the NPCs. You know what? Let's name all the NPCs.
All right, let's go.
Let's just name them all. What's that Animaniacs like song where they go through all the countries? Is it?
Yakko sings all the countries of the world.
We're gonna make a song
something like Nothic.
oh, sweet Nothic. Theagenes is very bad day. So I do have who would like to roll for our warm-up question today? A D100.
D100?
Mm-hmm.
I can roll.
Mm-hmm. 39. What do we get with 39? Ooh, okay. Is there any particular weapon, item, etc. that your character longs to find?
Ooh, I want a helmet for Shade. People notice me.
You so you
want something that permanently turns you into a Noth, right? That's what I heard.
So you have the helmet that makes skeletons ignore you, but you want a helmet that makes people pay attention to you.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That could be the same helmet.
That's the reason I ran away down the hallway in this last fight. It's like, well, no one's left here anymore. I guess I'll book it.
See? Just staying in character.
I mean, obviously that's a joke, but like, is there anything like, anything your character wants specifically? I'm the person that can make that happen.
I will go.
Yeah.
Magus would like to find Daemon's Caduceus.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Because that is an incredibly powerful magic item that has been mentioned, and it was mentioned that it was lost or stolen.
That is right. That is right. You've been paying attention. And I will tell you that it exists in this world. And that's all I'll say. And I will tell you, I didn't know that's how it was pronounced. So that's great.
It's better than Caduceus.
Yeah.
For Falbin, obviously he's become an assassin and he enjoys his juicy crits.
Mm-hmm.
He has learned of a weapon called the 9 Lives Stealer that has a unique property that instantly parts a body with its soul should they fail a DC Constitution saving throw. And he's interested in that.
I there's so much that I can't say. There's so much that I want to say because both answers, that and the Caduceus, like you guys don't even know.
We don't even know.
Again,
it's like
I will say,
you haven't told us.
I will say, 9 Lives Stealer exists in this world.
Look at that.
And has since well before you mentioned it. Just FYI.
Sure, just like the serpent.
There's a lot of magic items. Yeah, that serpent was hiding in the water. Jump in my brain, come back out, tell me I'm wrong. But there's a lot of magic items that, they exist in like the Dungeon Master's Guide or supplementary stuff. Griffin's Saddlebag, which is the best collection of magic items in the world. I free shout out for Griffin's Saddlebag. I've used their stuff for ages. Most of the magic items you guys have come from Griffin's Saddlebag. I am on your Patreon, so anyway.
Look at that.
But a lot of those items don't exist until I need them to exist. 9 Lives Stealer has existed since the beginning. So.
Around the tail of a sea serpent.
Yes. Yes. Deep in the hole in the ground.
DM damage.
DM damage. Not even a bear totem barbarian is resistant to it. Cool. Who else has a wish list item?
I'll go to have some contrast. There is no specific item. So, something that would allow for mass carnage, a mass power source, essentially, would be really great. I think a good, solid power source.
Theo builds a dirty bomb.
Well, now, we could power other things, but, it
Theo
has
builds an
versatility.
arc reactor.
Possibly. help
That would be
give
pretty
Rue a
sweet.
little bit more juice. But yeah.
I love that.
Not a specific item.
Not in this campaign, but in another campaign I ran, I introduced a basically plutonium like type power source in it. Anyway,
Exactly.
may or may not exist in this world. Probably not, but
Who knows?
Who knows?
The Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Probably with the sea serpent.
And that's actually a fine answer because like it doesn't have to be a specific thing. It could just be like, I want a big sword or I want a chainsaw or whatever,
Or a chainsaw sword.
or a chainsaw sword.
Lightsaber.
Already got it.
Already got it. That's true.
What about Shade or Theagenes? I mean, Shade has like a bunch of weapons already,
I mean,
but
Shade's answer is easy. It's yes.
yes,
All of them.
give me.
He wants a chance to try all the weapons.
Is there?
He's a little disappointed that he never actually tried using the Minotaur axe before he actually increased it to full bug. But he wants all the weapons.
How about this? If I were to reframe the question in terms of what weapon, if you had to be using a specific weapon to strike the killing blow into like Sidon, what would it be?
Oh man, that's so hard.
You made it harder.
A spoon.
I would like a Vorpal Spork.
Vorpal
You
sport.
laugh. That was actually one of my character concepts that we almost ran in another campaign.
Brilliant.
If you hit them 1,000 billion times with the spoon on that last time, their head just comes clean off.
No, I actually worked with my DM. He was willing to give it to me. It was going to be a Vorpal Spork. It would literally do 0 damage, but if I rolled an at 20, I could decapitate someone.
Genius.
And my character was going to be insane, and so he would think that it was Vorpal. It was just him hacking it through somebody's neck, Yeah. Not actually magical.
Wow.
That is officially copyrighted, so if anyone tries to take that,
damn. Well, that's
I mean, as far as like the weapon for the killing blow, I mean, Shade's pretty happy with his blade for that. If anything, it would have to be something poetic, something tied to a distinct, side on getting his just desserts, maybe like a dragon claw, something,
Yeah.
or something from some other deal.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I love that. And honestly, yeah, if it was your glaive, I mean, that's the whole reason I wanted to include weapons that could level up with you guys, is because it's so cool to have like a weapon that you were just attached to. And it's like RoboCop has his like auto 9mm pistol, and like they made that RoboCop game recently that I haven't played it. I heard it's really good. You get all kinds of weapons throughout the game, but you always have the auto 9mm, and you make it better, and it's throughout the end of the game a great weapon. And anyway, so
it's like the Halo CE pistol, you just had that all the time. You didn't need anything else.
Always works.
no, that was a sniper. That was everything.
I don't know, the Halo CE assault rifle I think is my favorite though. It's just that bullet hose, 60 round capacity. Oh god. Anyway,
Good times.
good times. And Theagenes, have you had a chance to think about it?
Weapon type, I think. Well, either
It doesn't have to be a
you know,
weapon. It can be an item.
Well, I was thinking maybe like a scythe is always
A
cool,
scythe.
but it might
Yes.
a little overdone. I don't know. But Pluto or Hades is supposed to wield a bident, so like a two-toothed spear, which I think would be pretty cool.
Oh, like a
Like a
toque?
pitchfork?
What?
Because like a fork has 4 tines, a threek has 3, and then a toque has 2.
Yeah, basically.
You're twice the fool.
And then a spear, aka a wunk, which is a
wunk.
classic choice.
Yes, that common word that we use all the time, as we all know.
Now I want all of those. Actually,
Yeah.
Wonk. I want the wonk.
So
the Duke.
I actually have been sort of like browsing different scythes for like later game for Theagenes.
Shocking.
So like, you know, and that's also kind of poetic with your character because there's like aspirations there. And anyway, I won't go too in depth with that, but okay, cool. I think that was a good question, and I made sure to bookmark that page because I forgot to last time, and I almost couldn't find it, but we found it. So, yeah, cool. Well, before we recap, leave a comment if you like what you're seeing, and if you want to know more, or if you want to see anything in particular. I can't promise anything, but you know, tell us who your favorite character is. Right?
We can imply
We're watching.
anything.
Their feelings will be hurt if you don't say it's them. So, comment whose feelings you think will be hurt most if you don't like their
My
character most.
self-esteem is riding on this.
No, I'm just kidding. I remember when I used to like make fun of our audience incessantly every session and like insult them. Should I go back to that? Probably not.
I feel like you never left it, but
Okay. All right. Immersion initiated. Who's recapping or who is fighting Magus for the recap?
Yeah, I volunteer as tribute.
you mean who is
Anybody
teaming
want-
up with Magus to do the recap?
Anybody want to step to this?
You know what? You guys like exhausted your inspirations last time, so if anybody wants to team up, I'll give you both. I'll give you both an inspiration die. One time only.
One-time offer, 2 for the price of 1. Let's
Yep.
go.
Sounds like
don't-
it's just
don't
you, buddy.
follow it.
I was gonna volunteer Nothic
Okay.
for it because he was.
Yeah, he had a first row seat.
Who
for the whole
better-
thing.
Saw the whole session with new perspective.
Who
Yep.
better to describe what was the episode title? Theagenes'
Gnosticism.
No. Hold
Terrible,
on.
horrible, no good, very bad day.
Yeah. Anyway, Magus and Theagenes, go at it. Before I get bored.
Okay.
Okay.
So we started off with Graxus standing there in the entryway after being let in by Theo, and there was a little bit tense to begin with, but he very quickly turned on his handlers. And struck down the 2 spectators who were with him and informed us that a great danger was approaching, at which point we all raced to the pit to see what was going to be happening there. He took point on the main tunnel, and Magus and Theagenes stayed with him, while Theo and Shade and Falbin ran around to the other side to hopefully dig through the wall with Shade's rock pick in order to gain another vantage point on this battle. The several beholders came up from the depths and wrecked shop against one person in particular. Yeah, Theagenes, if you want to describe that part.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what happened first?
So much happened.
I boldly resisted the first gaze that that happened, and then I think I fell to all subsequent cases, which included. Let's see. First, I was given a scary vision of my worst fears. After which, I was transformed into what was it called? A one-eyed,
a Nothic.
A Nothic.
a Nothic. Then I was given. Well, I kept rolling the same ones, didn't I?
Yeah, there was like 10 options, and you kept rolling like one of 3 choices a lot.
Which Dana was really nice to make me not, have the effects again.
Yeah,
which would have just been, I'd have been dead.
I like how you came away with that. Me being nice. I appreciate that.
You did only get the gazes that required a wisdom save after you were turned into a Nothic and lost your wisdom bonus.
Not
that's
my
true.
fault.
Yeah, and no, that wasn't your fault. I did then get Crown of Madness, and then I fell to the Psychic Terrors.
Yeah.
And then I started, you guys, but with a valiant effort, kept up my Spirit of Death until the very end.
Right.
And it sort of tore a new one for the
and also the Void Beholder, and also kept the Void Beholder from escaping because it was afraid of the Spirit of Death and you'd cut off its escape route.
That's true, but it was a little like that scene in The Office where Dwight shoves the bag over the lady's head with the bat inside it. Because it just kept biting me.
But we got the bat.
We got the bat. And then you guys, even though this was all happening to me, you guys decided that the most important thing was to make sure that the purple worm didn't fall down the hole.
Yep.
Very important.
So you spent time luring it forward.
Yep.
And then killed it.
He said Corley.
He did.
Oh yes, that's right. There was a lot of alluring
Yes.
Cat calls.
Yes.
And then you guys
in our
killed
defense, we couldn't see that all this was happening to the Diogenes.
That's true.
Let's
There's about
fair.
60 feet of solid rock between you. Yeah.
Oh, and we left out something really important, which was that Graxus was swallowed and was fighting it from the inside, and you guys were keeping alive with heals.
Yep.
And then finally he did burst out at the end, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone survived.
Did we miss the part where Graxus was actually there to warn you guys?
That was at the beginning, yep.
Yep.
That was at the beginning.
Because he brought the first 2 little spectators with him. Seemed like he was there to kill you guys, but he ended up attacking the spectators. You guys assisted with that. Shade with a creative, waiting to attack until he was sure that Graxus was actually gonna kill the spectators. And turns out he was there to warn you guys and helped you prepare. So, sorry.
And then, as I recall, you revived Graxus before me while I was failing my death save rolls.
I don't think Graxus needed reviving.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did revive Falbin with a healing grenade shot out of the worm's mouth into the elevator.
Oh yeah, that was.
Which I really desperately want an animation of that, just like Scarface, low slung grenade launcher at the hip, firing it out of a
it was
purple worm's
completely
mouth.
Unnecessary. We could have walked over there.
Well, you had ran out of movement.
Right, but we still had several. That was his first throw, so he.
No, that was his.
There was an appropriate level of concern.
Oh, okay. Well, we were really concerned about. We were concerned about the Medusa on our team. We didn't give a damn about the Noth.
And as a point of clarification, we did not revive the Diogenes. He just got stabilized with Spare the Dying.
Oh yeah,
cast through Shade's Echo.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think he's conscious yet.
No, he is. We healed him.
Well.
I believe you.
Yeah. And
whatever.
I think that was the end of the episode. Between episodes, because we took a break, we also did some text RPing over Discord and some arranging of things. So basically, we're planning out our trip to take what the Ultros. Magus contacted Damon, and Damon said that the necropolis will not work as a place to hatch the dragon eggs. We should ask Aesop, and Aesop said that the place that was historically done was the island, the area of dragons, or the dragon's area.
And specifically, Damon, it's not that he said it wouldn't work. It's just that it's a place of death, not of birth.
Right.
Essentially.
Yes. So I think that's going to be our first stop once we take off into the Cerulean Gulf.
I sure hope it is, because that's what I planned for.
We're also going to make some stops at Astoria and Mitros on our way, because we're wanting to have a few expand our crew just beyond Treants in order to man ballistas and help with stuff. Magus brought up various names. Such as in Astoria, we talked to, Pythor is going to be coming along with us. But in Astoria, we maybe want to contact Nick Manatatos, who helped us retrieve the children from Demetria. We may want to talk to Corinna, who was one of those children and might introduce some drama with Demetria.
Oh, and she is also a descendant of the last, or she is one of the few descendants of the original Dragonlords remaining.
Right. And also talk with Folon, the centaur who is cursed to become a scorpion.
Yes.
And in Mitros, bringing up the idea of talking to Egan, who is Magus's friend, sparring partner at the baths, talking with Magus's brother Adrian, of contacting if Makaira is still around and wants to join us instead of being handmaiden to Valis anymore. And then Valis mentioned she was going to handpick some people and fill out a roster of at least 12 to man the ballistas. And
is
also
partner at the baths a euphemism?
To Magus's chagrin, no. It actually is written.
Considering Magus, I didn't know.
Yeah, so
it is written in his document that Egan has not responded positively or negatively to Magus's advances.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's just taking advantage of the gymnasium aspect of ancient Greek baths. Also, maybe contact Linus. See if he wants to come along.
Oh, yeah.
Since he has great resistance to dying.
The Sidonian turncoat, or not turncoat, prisoner of war.
Then, and this is getting into the questions of how many things you want to actually read out in RP, Daniel. But Magus also contacted Hukar to find out what the heck was going on with that, and turns out that Castor has a greater influence than we originally thought, and now we are now maligned as associating with the Theo.
The Theo.
This is why you should not free people from slavery, okay? This is how it ends every time.
Wow.
So this is no. So
comments, please. Nobody say that Theo is your favorite character.
This is actually what happens when you happen upon a slave vending machine, and when you go to get the slave out and let them free, you ask them for a piggyback ride after you let them out of the vending machine, and they say no.
Let's be honest. It was 2 piggyback rides.
He was offered one, and he demanded
2.
That's true.
We know that these people are very proud. Okay, so he didn't have any money. I offered him the one thing that would let him keep his pride, and what did he do? Unbelievable.
Yeah,
save somebody, and that's what happens.
What this actually is I think this is both you and me sticking to our guns for a literal full year in real time, and me being I'm right, and you being I'm right. And because I have more power than you, unfortunately, he's going around bad-mouthing you to the other Centaur tribes.
I'm used to it.
Anyway,
there was a conversation that Magus had with Kyra. Do you want that to be summarized or played out?
maybe we talk it out. Let me change from this very fun, exciting ambience to something different. Okay.
Magus, when there's a moment in all this, we'll go up to Kyra and say, like, Kyra, I know that you don't like to bring up your actions as tactician during the Dragon War, and normally I would let that lie. But we have so precious little time now. I know you say I wouldn't understand, but if there is anything in your past that might give us even a bit more insight into the resisting the Titans or forming an oath of peace, please.
She can see that you're afraid under this. She says, "Oh, Magus, you don't find stumbling headlong into the unknown with a war looming ahead even just a bit fun? Times are different. The first war was a bloodbath on all sides. Most of the Dragonlords, along with their dragons, were killed, and it was only the arrival of the 5 that forced the Titans to consider a truce. Now, you might say, well, we have at least the 4 with us, and Mitros above, but Magus, I'm not the same as I was back during the war. None of us are, and we don't have mighty Balmitria to hurl herself heedlessly at their armies. We don't have noble Mitros to ascend and become the dawn for civilization. The game has changed, and we have to find out what those new rules are. I know you hate the Titans, and hell, I encourage it, but they're different now too, and we have to learn more about them if we're going to stand any chance of resisting them or brokering a new peace. The twins are starting to learn how much of a pain in the ass we can become, which makes our job even harder. I would never ask you to temper your well-placed hatred, but I would encourage you to practice a bit of deceit. We need the people to believe in us, but we need the Titans to not take us seriously, until it's time they take us deadly serious.
And did you want to continue that conversation or summarize just the ideas that I had?
We can continue it.
Okay.
We've written dialogue. Why not?
Yeah, we have. Deception. I'm not sure how well I can practice that personally. I mean, you want us to become these great heroes of legend, but I might have an idea. Your sister would be the one to ask about this, but given the looming mutual threat, I wonder if it might be possible to gain the cooperation of Eresia, to make a show of amassing military might among the 3 great cities for the ostensible purpose of civil war, only to turn united against the Titans when the time comes. We can speak with Honora. I have contacts with the battle mages of the Academy, and I suspect Acastus could be brought along with the plan as long as he thinks it will make him look good. But I don't know anyone in Eresia.
Well, we know one man from Eresia, don't we? But from what I know of Valus's plans, it's complicated at best. Eresia and Mitros have fought dozens of conflicts over the centuries, and Valus suspects that Eresia may have made a deal with Sidon to maintain their independence once Mitros is destroyed. If we make move for peace now, we might risk losing what little steam we have in mobilizing Mitros' armies against what is perceived to be a threat on 2 fronts. Our 2 cities have never been allies, let alone friends, and Eresia has no reason not to simply allow Sidon to raze Mitros to the ground. But our saving grace is, ironically, Sidon's fury. He will not allow another force to intrude in his great moment of conquest that he's waited and planned for 500 years.
Theagenes, your city sucks.
I know. Why do you think I left?
So yeah,
And then among other contacts, Magus will also send messages to a message to Machion, the head of the Academy in Mitros, informing Machion of the impending end of the Oath of Peace, and letting him know that the Academy may have to be ready to defend against both Sidon and Arisia, potentially. Also asking him to keep an eye out on the Great Games and on the Demi Titans to let us know, maybe gain some intel on what their deal is.
Yeah, I think Machion actually is the one who like monitors the Great Games for like cheating and stuff, magical influence.
I think that was the Professor of Divination.
Oh yeah.
Does that.
Okay, yeah. Hey, that's great. So Machion, he probably is at the games. I think if it wasn't a centennial, he might not be there because he's just, he's seen it all. But he's probably around. And I think you get an understanding and relatively unsurprised response. And he says something to the effect of like, I have and will always be the shield of the Academy, and to what extent I can, the city itself.
And then Magus would also relay similar information to his friend Bemis, the dwarf bouncer in Stygian Row, who helped them get the Minotaurs to safety, about the ending of the Oath of Peace, and just not a call for him or others of Magus's friends to join in the battle, but just to get ready for hard times within their own communities. And yeah, he jokingly responds that he's going to start stocking up on ale because the price is going to go up really quick if word gets out. Yeah. But he thanks you for letting him know, and he says he'll keep it quiet. So yeah, that's all of like Magus's like Professor X in Cerebro reaching out to everyone in the world during our downtime and in between sessions. So
yeah, love it. Okay, so jumping into the moment, as it were, you guys have slain the purple worm that emerged from the pit beneath the Mithril Mines, the Mithril Forge. Falbin was knocked unconscious in the elevator after luring it into the tunnel so that he could harvest it. Very excited about that. And actually, do we want to talk about what you are harvesting from it? I think I have Hammond's handbook pulled up.
I mean,
have you already rolled for that?
I have not, which is,
because there was the other complication that you introduced in between sessions,
which was
that we cannot both harvest and sacrifice a beast.
Yes.
And so Magus is like coming up ready to begin the ritual.
Well, let's RP that. Let's RP that. So Falbin, you're wounded, but you're conscious, and you're seeing this massive purple worm just completely plugging this long hallway of stone with its massive shielded body. Tell me what's going on.
I mean, Falbin has read books. Falbin has studied things, and he knows that the poison of the great purple worm is a sought-after thing in the art of killing things. And Absolutely. So he is excited about we're gonna cut this motherfucker up, and we're gonna make some great things with it, and then we're gonna kill stuff with it. That's what he's thinking.
Love it. Okay. And then let's see. Magus is over there with Theagenes. Let's RP that conversation.
It's like, okay. You good?
Just leave me be.
No. I'm gonna pick you up and start dragging you back to the rest of the group.
Shade would have floated over to like here and swap teleported with his shadow, with his echo, and he would be helping with this.
I begrudgingly allow you to help.
Because I have a picture of that. Thanks.
All right, let's get you back to the other shade. I assume you guys dealt with the worm.
Yeah, it's dead. It was
Okay.
bloody over there. He looks at Biagi's like probably pretty similar to over here, just more visceral.
Yeah, this was a lot more Theagenes tanking beholder rays so I could keep up magic going.
I
Good man.
sigh.
Slaps Theagenes on the back.
Yeah, let's get everyone together. Everyone's okay over there?
Forgive a definition of okay. I think Falben's he's gonna need a minute.
Okay. Yeah, let's reconvene. Yeah, I will go over to join the rest with the purple worm. It's like, okay. Any suggestions of who we could sacrifice this beast to? I have some ideas.
From down the hallway, you hear, "Whoa! What are you talking about?" Falben limp stumbles towards you, like starts to claw his way over the carcass of this purple worm, looks around at you and is like, "Hold the fuck up!" And then he's like visibly exhausted, and he's like just waiting for you to make a move.
What? Okay, this is. Yeah, Shade, you're right. He's gonna need a minute.
Yeah, he started talking about poison and stuff as soon as this thing showed up.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's what's going on.
We're gonna carve this into tiny pieces. We're gonna get all of its treasures out. It's a life goal. It's gonna happen.
He will cut you.
Or we could get like a god level boon. Like, we want a Kentamane to seal the pit forever. We want, like, you know.
Not when it gives us treasures like this!
Okay, I'm just gonna back off.
Shade would like lean over to Vegas. He kind of earned this one. Just say it.
All right. But nobody gets to eat the cows without consulting me first.
Fair enough. Where's Bisk?
Where's Bisk?
No.
Yeah, is he around? He is around, isn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot to put like a token of him somewhere. I like him just being somewhere. Yeah.
I did send Demetria to the Ultros last time, so I imagine like they're just kind of like in this weird standoff on the upper deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll drop a lizard folk token on the deck. There he is. Bisk. BISSK, not like lobster bisque, like BISQUE. Anyway, so Falben, would you like to do your appraisal roll, which you will roll a nature check, because this is a monstrosity. You'll roll a nature check. The DC is 8 plus the CR of the creature. So the CR is 15. Yeah.
You better get this.
You got this.
I will say, so the benefit of a successful appraisal is that you learn exactly what you can harvest from it, which I know you know because you've read it.
Right.
You learn the DC to harvest those different things, and you also gain advantage on the harvesting checks. So it is worthwhile, but you don't. If you fail it, you can still attempt to harvest stuff.
Right. Of course. Everything about this is going to be well planned and strategic.
Yeah, exactly.
I am laying on this thing, having just won a verbal argument with my arch nemesis, Burner of Cloves Magus, and I climb down from it, and I say, Shade, I know that you understand monsters because you and I have eaten the heart of the dead dog who'd been petted too much. We are going to do this together. Would you help me figure out what is going on with this monstrosity?
Of course.
A note: Theo's Flash of Genius can apply to an ability check. So if Theo wants to help,
how many of those do you
flash it.
have, Theo?
I've got 3, I believe.
Okay, we might need all of them.
Well,
I mean,
I'll flash it,
you can only use one per roll, but
Yes, but there will be more than one roll.
There will be more
That
than
is
one
true.
roll, though.
but that will add a what is it? Your intelligence modifier, which is +4. That will add +4 to the roll.
All right, so
Theagenes, as I would also like to point out that I am willing to consult with the fates over this, and doing so could guarantee a roll.
That's interesting. What does that mean? Guarantee a roll?
Yeah, what does guarantee?
I'm curious when you're bumping up against DC checks, which will happen directly after the appraisal.
Well, I basically, if I do my divination and I roll high, I can just give you that number for your roll when you try to harvest. And I mean, if I roll low, obviously I'll use it for something else. But if I roll high enough, it could guarantee an outcome.
That's really fancy, and I would like to think that you're doing this because you see that Falbin also got fucked.
I'm doing it for that reason, and I'm doing it because I really want to take Lotus right now.
I love it. All right,
So complicated.
So, Shade, we're kind of stepping up to this thing, and we're gonna appraise it. One final clarification: I have advantage, right? Because Shade is helping me? Question mark. DM.
Oh yes. Is Shade proficient in nature?
I believe so. Are you?
I am not.
So
proficient in survival.
you will need somebody who
no.
is proficient in nature to do the help action for this.
I know there's someone in the party.
Well, no, I think I.
Theo is
your
not.
arch nemesis, close.
No, I have investigation perception in.
I mean,
Vegas is a city boy.
Oh no!
Not me.
All right. Well, then that means I guess I'm going to have to do this alone. So I kind of like mock you a little bit, Shade. I guess I'm going to have to do this myself.
Proficient in nature.
let me see. He is not.
Falbin is spicy.
Demetria better be proficient in nature.
Why are you intentionally slighting him?
Interestingly, she isn't, but I think it makes way too little sense for her not to be proficient in nature. So we're gonna give her.
Literally is nature.
I know. We'll give Demetria nature proficiency, and she comes over and is going to help you.
All right. Sorry. So the clarifying question I was getting to was:
I'm a generous DM.
if this roll If this advantage roll goes poorly, can I inspiration +5 it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Cool. Then
Because that's
the
a
moment
separate
of truth has come.
That's a separate thing from the help action. It's a separate thing from Flash of Genius. These are all 3 different sources that you can stack.
All right. So this is just a nature check with advantage.
And +4 from Flash of Genius. That's
right,
a
well,
crit.
How about a goddamn crit?
What the heck?
God damn.
That's a double crit. Oh my god.
This is fated to happen.
It is destiny.
2 nat
Yes.
20s. Wow. What an earned
Fallen has been preparing
success.
for this his whole life.
My whole life.
Yeah, I mean, Theo goes to Flash's Genius, and you go, no, put that away. I don't need it. I've got the crit.
I'm already a goddamn genius.
Wow. Okay, so in that case, you will learn everything that is harvestable, the DCs, and you will have advantage. Because it was a double crit, I'm gonna give you a double advantage on your harvesting roll.
Oh, hallelujah. I love it. So I roll 3 d20s? Is that what you're saying?
4.
Love it. It is destiny. All right. So let's see. Let's get our worms in a row, as it were. So we're going to roll 4 die. We're going to Flash of Genius. We're going to consult the fates. Does the fate consultation have to happen before we roll the dice, Theagenes?
It will.
Yes, it does.
That's a pay-as-you-go program.
Okay. And does this cost you anything? I'm a little bit worried because you look like you're going to bleed to death.
No, in fact, it removes some of my deficit. So,
But it is also sort of an uncomfortable moment where, like, you've been screening calls from someone who, like, you've been missing work for a few days, and your boss has been calling you, and you finally answer after like 4 days of not answering.
yeah. So I'm gonna go for it though. I'm gonna So my process is I have to go take Lotus and weave. And this is essentially casting a divination spell because I took divination as my new thing. So I get to ask the fates something. Anything you guys want to know?
Oh. The location of the devices we mentioned earlier.
I can't exactly ask that. I can ask whether a certain course of action will result in good or bad.
Oh, it's like one of those shaking 8 balls.
It's a bit like that, yeah.
I am going to ask if bringing both Bullbug and Adrian, basically removing the martial protection from my family's estate, would put them in undue danger. Is what I would want to know.
It has to be a specific goal, event, or activity to happen in 7 days. And they can give me a phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. I guess that's for you, DM. But it has to be truthful.
Yeah.
7 days.
The action would be inviting both Bullbug and Adrian to join the crew of the Ultras.
Okay. So I ask whether that will... What will happen if we do that?
Let's see. And the answer is just like can be cryptic or even yes or no or whatever.
It can be an image that I end up weaving in a tapestry, since that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so here's what you get. So you weave an image. Think like a I forget the American artist, like mid-century American artist that does the paintings of like Americana life. Like there's the one with like the Thanksgiving table.
Rockwell?
Norman Rockwell, yeah. So you get like a very Norman Rockwell scene of Magus's family happily sitting around a table having dinner together. And through a window outside is Magus tied to a chair with a blindfold over his eyes and a gag in his mouth and his hands bound.
God.
The heck?
Not in a good way.
You're into some kinky
not
stuff.
Not in a happy way.
No, like I assumed as much.
But you never know.
You never know.
Vegas.
Yep. You've still got the handcuffs and the whip.
So I'll give you a little bit of insight behind that answer in case the meaning isn't as clear as I'm hoping it is. The meaning is that his family will be safe as long as Magus doesn't ruffle any feathers and keeps his hands to himself.
Don't you be
So
ruffling.
it's a bad idea.
Well,
It's not necessarily. It's that his family probably safe as long as Magus does nothing to mess it up.
Disturbing.
like not it.
Okay.
Like Magus is okay that there's not like impending doom coming. Like he recognizes that Lutheria has underhanded tactics, and like he understands that like if he intentionally provokes her, like no matter what, things are gonna like be a problem. But as long as there's nothing impending right now.
Yeah.
So under the influence of Lotus, I sort of dully, without any emotion, hand it to Magus and say, "This is for you."
As you hand it to Magus, you realize that somehow you have weaved into the surface, like the top surface has this image, but as you hand it over, you've somehow woven onto the back of the surface, like you've mirrored, and you hand it to him, and you can see you've woven a message that says, "Forget not whence your power comes."
I guess that's for me.
Yeah, it says to Theagenes.
Hug, hug, kiss, kiss.
Theagenes.
Little hug, big keys. Big hug, little keys. Nacho Libre, the best movie ever made.
It really is.
Okay. Well, guys, as fun as that was, I rolled a 5, which means we're not going to use it for this, but I can make somebody fail.
We got a nice little glimpse into your situation.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think like while this happened, Shade would be talking to Thalbin about how we're gonna start this thing, because you said it's like 100 feet long and like hanging down the hole.
Yeah, it's
Shade
definitely
would have probably gone like up to the next level, start gathering the miners, starting like, all right, we need to start pull this thing up so it's not just like hanging down in the pit.
Yeah, I like to think that we're getting a little like delicious in dungeon here, and we're like, I wonder what it tastes like. Kind of talk a little bit about like that heart that we had of the Cerberus.
Oh, you watched that too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. So yeah.
Yeah, the dwarfs start like assembling some rigging so that they can like hoist up the tail. And anyway,
yeah. Falbin talks about how we're gonna have to climb inside it, because I know that purple worms can essentially create the most valuable of pearls, and then that is available potentially. So we're gonna have to go on a little bit of a journey here. Nothing that Graxus hasn't done before, but we'll do it as well.
Excellent.
Team effort now.
Is this a nature roll that we're going to be doing here?
This is going to be, let's see.
Oh boy.
Sorry. Harvesting roll. dexterity modifier and your proficiency in nature. So it's a dex roll, but you get your nature proficiency added to it.
Okay, so I believe my nature proficiency is 10.
Yeah, because you have expertise in it now, right?
I do. Yeah, I got that a little while ago.
So it's a dex roll, add 10 for your nature, and then whatever else you're adding, which you could add Flash of Genius. You could also you also are getting advantage on it. Double advantage. So you get 4 rolls.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll 4, and then we can add the 10, and then we can add the 4.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
Yep.
Cool. So there's that. And
that's
enough.
It's a 23.
Yeah. So the 23 is plus 10. That's 33. Plus the 4 is 37.
I don't know. Maybe we should hold off till we have better. I don't know. This is gonna fly.
That is somehow way overkill for what you need for this. For this harvesting. So you've got the document. Why don't you walk us through what you start pulling off of this thing?
Yeah, so the first thing, I mean, almost right away, Robin's up in the front of the beast, and he's kind of got his knife, and he's cutting into, like, the gums, and he's just filling up 9 vials of blood, and he's like, trust me, we're going to use it later. And then he's kind of still working, like, now in the ducts just behind the gums, and he starts filling up 3 vials of purple worm bile, and... I mean, it smells horrible.
Yeah,
but
like
got it.
You spill, or you not spill, but like there's a hole in the purple worm, and some of this bile is like dripping, just like, and the stone floor underneath the drip is just is like alien blood, basically.
Yeah, straight up acid. I mean, this comes actually with a warning in when you're learning how to do these things. It comes with a warning that this is how some stupid people die, not from the beast itself, but when they're harvesting the bile.
That's probably other people. That's
not my. No.
Yeah.
So then I'm still at the front of the beast. I take my knife and I just start loosening some of the fangs. I'm gonna make some improvised weapons with them later. So I got 4 purple worm teeth. Gonna be super great. It's also a rich source of ivory, so we can always sell them if we don't want. And then I work my way over to the rear, and
we'll say you hook a rope around one of the teeth at the front, and then like rappel down like the belly, to get close to the tail.
Yep. And then I like to think that I got Shade spelunking with me. We're in here, and I mean it is god awful. But we're working our way toward the back of the beast, and I know enough from my reading of what the pearl's gonna look like if it's here. And sure enough, this purple worm has lived long enough and digested enough random junk that it has generated a pearl. I go ahead, pry that off, and then I start to make sweeping cuts around the rear of the animal, and loosen from it its purple worm stinger. And this I mean, you have not seen Falbin be careful before this moment. This is like he is worshiping. This is something that he has wanted for so long. I mean, it is just reverenced right here.
He's had this circled in the catalog since he was a kid.
That's right. If there's one thing, it's going to be this. And he got it. And as I'm like loosening it, I'm just like talking up a storm. I mean, it is incessant talking to Shade. I'm just like, oh man, we take this and we make it into a thing. And some people call it the purple piercer. And you could just keep poisoning people with it. It never stops. Even though it's been detached, it just keeps coming. It's amazing. It never dies. And
Shade's like slowly getting a little disturbed at how talkative and happy Falbin is, but he's just like, yeah, okay, all right, okay, buddy, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yep. So, free the purple stinger, and gonna get that made into a dagger ASAP.
Yeah, and the pearl, by the way, is worth about 5,000 gold by itself.
Okay, now I'm on board. Let's go. Absolutely.
It weighs 10 pounds, so...
Yeah,
That's right.
Yep, bag of
like-
holding, put it in.
Yeah.
No. So can we just turn that into gold? Because I don't think we're gonna use it. For
Although,
anything else.
what a flex would that be on Lutheria to just, because she has that scrying scroll in the bag of holding, you just drop this pearl in there of the big beast that she sent to kill you. Anyway.
Pearl
Yeah.
drop.
I wonder what
Yeah.
happened if you drop some of the bile on her scroll. Anyways, so
I like it.
yeah, can we just sell that pearl to like Vulcan?
If you would like to just delete it and have the gold value, that is fine.
Yeah, that's what I like to do, and
Cool.
then just walk around and hand a bag of gold and be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, as I hand it to each of the people in the party.
Vulcan's like, I really don't know what I'm going to do with this, but, I wasn't doing anything with this bag of 5,000 gold either, so enjoy.
Exactly.
This is
Can't
pretty
eat gold.
early, so I can...
Or like if we want to like RP or like come up with an excuse, we do have we do know Crassus in Mitros who would probably love to have this and pay us 5,000 gold for it.
True.
It's just
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Who is Crassus?
the rich guy we saved from the sewers.
The very,
One of the
very
golden robes.
Oh.
golden robes, yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. I suppose maybe we could extract a premium from him.
Maybe. Because the 5,000 is just the street value. You might be able to get more out of him.
We can upcharge it. It would depend how good your story is.
That's
That would
true.
also involve you having to go into Mitros
Right,
and,
yes.
yeah.
And I probably
Let's
started with "Once upon a time, I got a golden arrow."
Yep.
Like, yes, I remember that going on auction. I thought it was a joke.
Anyway, yeah. But,
Well, I think I'm gonna hand it to Vulcan, and I'm gonna pass around the gold because Crassus, I don't like him. There's something about the wealthy. We talked about how Falbin feels about nobles. Anyways,
Yes.
gonna pass around the gold. All the
That's
party
1,000
members
gold
receive
for each of you.
1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, yay!
that's one resurrected dragon each.
Wow. Cool. I better get to killing your dragons that don't exist yet.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, whoa, hey.
I'm
Wow,
feeling
cool.
No, okay, let's not count those dragons before they hatch.
Is Vulcan capable of crafting the purple piercer?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how much time it takes from the document. Let's see, because I think. Well, hold on. Is there a crafting time listed in the?
I don't think there was. I did Discord that to you near the bottom of our.
Okay.
Set up now. No, it doesn't say anything about crafting time.
Okay. We'll
It just says
say.
it can be crafted by a blacksmith.
I'm gonna say right now a week, and then we can revise it if I find something more specific.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not terribly heart-wrenching to Falbin anymore because we have Amazon delivery.
That's true. That's true. What can Celadon do for you?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So the dwarves will over the next few days start working on disassembling this thing. Honestly, they'll probably just over time eat it because there's 30, 40 dwarves that are working the mines. I know this thing is 100 feet long, but 40 dwarves that are hardworking and hungry can probably eat this in a couple weeks. So
We come back and there's smoking racks hung over the pit of lava, just smoking purple worm meat and everything.
Yep. I'll try to come up with some sort of mechanical advantage that the mine will get because you are basically negating their need to go buy food, or they just have a bunch of food all of a sudden right here. So I'll come up with something later.
Got like +2 pickaxes from the teeth, and then
because I'm like thinking of maybe including some sort of mechanic where like passively the miners will mine ingots of various ores, like whether it's adamantine or mithril. This being the mithril mines, because in the module as written, the only mithril that Vulcan has to work with is what you guys find out in the world. And I'm like, well, it's the mines and it's active and there are miners here. So maybe I'll set up like, a certain number of ingots, like an ingot a week or something. And maybe for the next like 2 weeks, that rate is doubled, kind of thing, something like that. I
love it.
I'll come up with that later. And, but I think there should be some sort of advantage, because again, you are foregoing the benefits of a sacrifice. This would have been a pretty massive sacrifice, but yeah. Okay.
Don't remind Vegas.
I'll move the worm over here so it's out of the way. All right. So what are we doing now? So it's pretty late at night, and I know you guys need a long rest, but is there anything you want to take care of, like following this?
I think we need to have a talk with Graxus.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, like Magus, at least. Well, he will want, like, at least Shade involved, because Shade seems to be the moral center of the group, and particularly with dealing with people who need second chances.
Right. Yeah, I think Graxus will, like, he'll sort of clean himself up, and he'll just go and, like, stand kind of waiting around here. Just, he knows you guys want to talk, but he's waiting for you guys to be ready.
I'm gonna be honest, Theo's a little hurt that you think that he's not the moral compass.
Theo's moral compass is like in a movie where they go to an alien planet and the compass is just spinning, just no, he's pretty consistently neutral. Anyway.
I thought you meant pretty chaotically neutral.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Depends.
So, Graxus, I appreciate what you've done tonight, but I think you have some explaining to do.
You do not owe me thanks, but I am happy to provide explanation. Is it not clear what is happening?
I'd like to know the path.
Well, my allegiance with the lady is clearly broken. The foul creatures that followed me here, she could see through their eyes. So my betrayal is sealed. The path was... She offered me another chance, and like you, and unlike you, following hers would have granted me essentially eternal splendor had I succeeded in my mission. She offered me a harsher deal, one with less risk to me. There is a small village north of Astoria. I was to cleanse it. And in return, she would take me into her bosom. I instead suggested this course of action. And she laughed She said that would be hilarious. You stand no chance against them. And I said, let me try. She thought it would be funny. But she said if I succeeded, she would grant me clemency and a place of peace throughout the remainder of the coming war. Of course, I betrayed my end of the bargain. So now there will be no peace.
You refused both deals. Why?
Well, they call me the Butcher, but I would like to think that I am not the butcher of innocence. So the first deal was easy to refuse. The second deal was harder. The second deal... Well, it was easy to refuse, but neither of them were easy. Neither of them were easy. It was either kill defenseless villagers and enjoy a peaceful eternity, or throw myself at heroes in their own stronghold and maybe make it out alive. But I would rather die at your hand and suffer for however long. But I thought much about what your mission is and what you said to me. And if I am to be punished by her, then I think her punishment may not last that long with you around.
Are you bound by any oath?
No.
Make us not.
He huffs.
And I puff.
And I will kind of look to Shay and it's like, so what happens now?
Is there any way to remove yourself from Letheria's power? Or is it as basically Queen of the Underworld, she'll get you no matter what if you die? Is that the case?
Her hands are very full with the dead, and they will continue to be full. But should I fall, she will tend to me quickly. My arrangement in the Tomb of Xander was a benefit, but she no longer is fooled by that. She may not be able to see me in there, but she knows that is where I would go. And she would send anything she could. I'm sure Damon would defend well, but she will not be made a fool.
You believe she will send her agents to kill you?
Whether to kill me or to defile the necropolis itself, she will punish any who allow me to hide there. But I am at your service, and Whatever you do, whatever you will, I will do.
If you're in the service of another deity, someone like Vulcan, would that grant you any protection?
Make me a servant of one of the 5. That, I believe, would bind her actions against me under the Oath of Peace, but also mine against hers.
True. Looking at Magus, Jaden said, I see essentially 2 possible options. Either he enters into some form of, I don't know if it would be an oath or just an agreement with Vulcan to stay here and defend it, or comes with us.
I feel like my judgment may be untrustworthy in this matter. My thoughts, with apologies to you, Graxus, immediately went to tactical and personal advantages of having a bait that Lutheria could not refuse.
A purpose I am more than willing to serve.
Either to redirect forces away from us or away from those we hold dear.
Yes, I nobly accept whatever that will be. I will draw her ire in a way few can. Besides yourself.
Oh, I can draw her ire.
Jade would nod grimly and say, well, you're truly willing to undertake that. It would be a boon to us. Personally, I appreciate your fighting prowess. I'd like to keep that on our side of the conflict for as long as possible, but it does have merit.
So it seems like the plan is for him to remain free, but be basically an asset on, like, out in the world when needed to distract her.
Pretty much.
That does run the risk of him being intercepted before the war begins.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Because if we bring him with us, chances are at some point Lutheria is going to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
like, given the recent conversation with Kyra, maybe
it'll be kind of a red flag on you guys' back.
Yeah, right. Even more so. But yeah, like, running the risk of him not coming into conflict, and like wherever he is, if she knows about it, like, that place is going to be in danger.
Yeah.
Unless it is specifically tied to one of the 5.
Right. So if he were to swear an oath of
so like, even staying here, like, it wouldn't really help him all that much unless he did something with Vulcan, right?
Yeah, if he swore an oath to Vulcan, he would essentially be protected from direct action from Lutheria or her servants.
Right. But I'm saying like even from the standpoint of even if he was just here, just him being here, this location isn't like
Oh yeah, no, it's not like
a Volcan temple type thing.
No, it's literally just a mine. It's not sanctified. I mean, Damon has spent centuries of work on the necropolis, but this place is not the same.
Yeah.
I
guess if we could get Vulcan to do that.
Right.
Vulcan's pretty busy, but I mean, I guess he could go hang out in like the Temple of the Five or something.
No, like what would it take to do something like I don't know, was that consecrate or sanctify or whatever this area to him?
Like that spell, I think, requires casting the same spell every day for a year.
It's pretty involved.
Never mind then.
Low key commitment.
I think actually the oath option might be best if we wanted to keep him around until the war happens, because once the war happens, all bets are off, and then he could be like utilized as a potential distraction in the war.
That's fair. Yeah.
Only 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But we wouldn't have his aid in our endeavors until then.
Right. But you are basically right. You're basically guaranteeing that you will have him available as an asset once the Oath of Peace is over.
I think that might be best. Yeah, that is Magus's opinion.
Do Falbin or Theo or Theagenes have any other opinions on the matter?
No, sounds great. Love it.
I think he needs protection from her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he literally just like risked eternal damnation to save our butts. So, like,
right. Which is kind of like why Magus is saying like I feel morally like my judgment is bad in this, is because he's seeing the benefit, but he also doesn't feel great about like sending him off.
Yeah.
Like for our benefit after what he's done.
Right. Hey. Complicated little moral dilemmas. That's what you get with me.
So what you're saying is we just need to kill the enemies instead of actually trying to save them.
There you go.
Estor had it right all along.
Yeah. Just kill them, and then they're not a problem anymore. Yeah, so like it seems like that is the consensus, is that Graxus will bind himself by oath to Vulcan's service until the end of the Oath of Peace.
Yeah, I mean, I think Falbin's on board with that too. He probably would have mumbled something about like, or we could test the poison, but he would have went with it.
Graxus like looks down at his like kind of melted like arm flesh from being inside the mouth of the thing. He's like, I think it works. May your enemies have thinner skin than I.
Falbin says something along the lines of like, I need to work on my stealthing skills.
All right. Well, without any like anything to the contrary, he's going to. I'll just move Vulcan in the room. He'll approach Vulcan and like drop to one knee, and he's still like 2 feet taller than Vulcan, even on one knee. And he has his axe like head down on the ground with his hand on the pommel, and he says, "Vulcan, god of the forge, as I today have defended your mine from threats below and without, I will continue to do so in your service till the end of the Oath of Peace. And perhaps longer, voluntarily." Vulcan says, "Hey, as long as I can take a look at that axe, you got it. You got a deal, man." And yeah, the oath is forged.
Vulcan's got his priorities straight. I love that guy. He knows what's
Maybe
up.
maybe he's no longer Graxus the Butcher. What do you guys think? Graxus the, what do you think?
Builder.
The what?
Graxus the Builder.
The Builder?
I would go with Graxus the Diluted.
The Diluted?
Or Graxus the Polluted.
It's because of the arm. He's not what he used to be.
Oh.
Yeah, he's half the minute.
Graxus the slightly melted.
Black
The slightly
Rex
off.
Guard.
The scarred. We'll come back to that.
Praxis worm brain.
Okay, cool. Kyra says, "Now, Dad, make sure you don't boss him around too much. He has been through a lot, and I know he's big and strong, but, you know, he's not your new employee." Oh, I know, obviously, but I mean, just look at how big he is. Obviously, I'm gonna have him lug a few things around, just a couple things. Anyway, cool. So, what else have we done?
I think
Maybe long rest.
that's all. Yeah.
That'd
be great.
I'll prompt a long rest from you guys, and it's currently midnight, so we'll just we'll skip ahead to about 8 a.m. on the let's see, on the first day of Kentios.
Oh, it's one of my favorite days.
What's the... Where did that go? I have to do some kind of weird roll.
Oh, for like a conference room thing where we would all talk.
Yeah.
Which room would work best for that?
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I had initially been thinking
this
like
one.
this room up here,
Yeah.
but that seems to have like Falben's bed
Well,
in it. So.
it's got. That's all it has. Is
Falbin glares at you.
Shade is like starting to pull the bed out of the room, and Falcon's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I mean, in the absence of that, as long as there's like technically room for it, Shade can do it.
I love how you described it, though. I mean, all it really has is Falbin's bed in it.
It doesn't have any other Gucci.
It's not
It's
Falbin's room. It's
yeah,
where
it's just-
Falbin's bed happens to be.
It's just an empty room with a bed in it. Nobody is using it.
I don't know. Are we making more rooms? Like, are there just gonna be
And
like rooms?
it's
over
also
here?
the room that Falcon has been sleeping in for 3 weeks.
He's got pictures hung up on the wall, and you're just like, yeah, let's just take all this shit down and turn it into a conference room.
Okay, fine. Jane will improvise pick and make a large stone.
You just strap
in the
a
middle of
war
his
map right
room.
over his father's face.
Okay, so you've created like a map table. We'll just say that's what this
Yeah.
is.
Yep. So
yeah.
that's like a big stone table. Use my pick to make it all look cool, big. So and that's what I'd lay out like the maps of the Cerulean Gulf. It's like, where are we going next? And like I pointed out in the party chat, Shade has just ruined both of his sets of clothes. So now he is wearing his third alternate set of clothes, which are the ones he got sized for Magus and Falvin for their clothes burning war. So they are much too small. He's basically wearing like just the lower part of a toga. Like that's all he's got. So he just like walk around bare chested and stuff.
So yeah, I guess also, so we are expecting Pythor and Timon to show up here, with Timon having the basilisks in tow. I will have started reaching out to the people in Astoria that we might want to recruit by name, and you can just tell me if they like accept or decline for and Magus is leaving this completely open to declining. So the three people in Astoria would have been Nick, Corinna, and Full On.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Full On excitedly says, "Oh, wait. Do you suggest that you might go to Scorpion Island?"
Yes.
Oh yeah. He's like, fast as my 4 feet can carry me, bro. I am there.
Okay, we'll come to you. We're gonna be. I guess I think we have to come through Astoria.
Oh
on
shit!
Our way
I'm already halfway down the rope ladder to you. I'm almost there. No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's okay. I'll meet you.
Sometimes a predilection for rope ladders.
Because like on our route out, you're just talking in general route. So like coming out this river, we're going to go through Astoria, and then I suggest we stop by Mitros to pick up some more people, and then our first stop is to the Dragon Airy.
We don't go through Astoria on our way out, right? I thought this was a different river.
I think the river goes through Astoria.
It goes near Astoria. I mean, near it.
I think we talked about it, that it wasn't the same river, at least not the same branch of the river that went through Astoria.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's still not that far.
Yeah, so like I'd communicate that. So yeah, that is how I suggest we move.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, like responses from Nick and Corinna.
Corinna, similarly very excited. I mean, she was the one that initially brought up to you her desire to be a part of the new Dragonlord Order. And so, yeah, she's ready to go.
In my message to her, I will also indicate that we may have something to talk. We'll have to have a serious talk before she joins.
Okay, yeah.
And then Nick.
I will sort of defer a little to you, Shade. Do you feel like Nick is better suited in Astoria, or do you think he would be, what do you feel?
Nick would be, like we talked about, I mean, he's got his Iron Sentinel's, like, practically retirement robe and everything. His robe and
always got a mug of coffee.
Like, yeah, he'd be the kind to be like, sounds like it'd be a good adventure, but I think I'm better served here, training the new recruits and getting ready for what comes next.
Yeah. He's going to enjoy the piece he has on tap for now. He really is.
He's seen a lot of crap, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to just defer that for a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of tweaked my back when we went to the Old Woods to rescue those damn kids. So, yeah, I don't know. Just got to sleep in.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will direct Corinna and Full On of where to meet us. And also maybe send a message to Honora, letting her know when the Oath of Peace is going to end, so that she can start getting Astoria prepared.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
Because I trust that she will use that information wisely.
Oh yeah. I mean, if she doesn't already know it, right?
Yep. So yeah. After that, Magus is just waiting on Pythor and Timon to arrive, and then Magus is ready to go.
Okay. We'll say that if you contact them after your long rest, or was it before your long rest?
We arranged for them to come meet during one of my trips to Astoria and Eros.
That's right. We'll say that the next morning, Pythor, Timon, and how many basilisks was it?
3.
3. 3 basilisks show up and make their way. There's a little like hiking trail that you don't have to cross over the lake to get there. And yeah, they show up, and Timon he's got a rope around his waist, and then the rope daisy chains to all 3 basilisks who are all blindfolded, or wearing like the blinders, and Pythor is like pulling Timon because he doesn't have the mass to like properly guide the basilisks. So it's just this conga line, Pythor, Timon, and the 3 basilisks. Pythor arrives and he's like, "Oh, thank God! Oh, thank me! Hey, we're finally here. Oh, that was the longest walk I've ever taken. Hey everyone, Pythor got a battle. Greetings. Oh, Dad, this place is less dusty than last time I was here. Oh, Timon. Oh God. Timon's like, no, I got it. Hey guys, I got it. It's no problem. They're all coming with me. They know the sound of my voice, and they obey me like I was their father, like I hatched them myself, which I kind of did. I kind of incubated them. I had to look up on the internet, how long it would take and what to do, but I figured it out. The internet exists for me and me alone.
Wikipedia article.
Yeah, exactly. That's like anyone can edit that. So 90% of the articles you see on there are me. That's all me, baby. So feel free
now
to.
I know it's reliable.
Feel free to use it in any essays.
The implications of Timon are again terrifying.
Oh yeah, he is like the Watcher in the Marvel universe. Like anyway, so hey, okay, so they
Shane would walk up to one of the basilisks and just like pick it up and be like, "Oh, aren't you the cutest little monstrosity we've seen in a while?"
It's got like 6 like stubby legs that are just all kind of like waggling in the air, and it's like it's like sort of trying to bite at you, but not like that hard. And Tim is like, "Shade, wow, you really are talented with animals. I mean, it seriously looks like it's gonna kill you, but it isn't. Wow, amazing. You need to teach me that sometime." Okay, so I guess I just need to come with you guys, right? Because if anything goes wrong with these basilisks, y'all are gonna be like, "Hey, Timon, there's something wrong." But if I'm there, then I can correct them.
I'd imagined the basilisks staying here as a defense.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure, yeah. Sorry, my mistake, thinking I was going to get to go on this grand adventure out in the sea and, see sights that I may never get to see because the war is coming soon and I'm probably going to die and, all that. But, yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll just stay here in this hole in the mountain. Yep.
Well, I'm glad we all.
Let's bring him with us.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I wanted to do, really. If you think about it.
I mean, it sounds like you really want to do it anyway. So
yeah, I didn't ask to be a father of these 3. You guys kind of did that, and then said, "Hey, do you know how to raise them?" And I said, "I don't know, but I'll Google it. I'll figure it out." And then I bring them here. You pick up one, and then you say, "No, I don't want to have these with me." And it's okay. I get it. That's what I'm here for. I'm an NPC. It's okay.
Yeah, you're a support character. I'm glad.
It's
I'm glad that we
choking back tears at this point.
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah,
I'm fine. It's all right.
It's okay.
I mean, Shane's like looking to the rest of the party. We could bring him. We got.
Don't
here,
fall. Don't fall for his crocodile tears. He does this all the time.
I've never seen a crocodile. I was kind of hoping I would see one on adventures with you, but
Well, you're not going to, so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not. Why would I?
Yeah. So. Yeah, good talking to you.
Vegas to be in the Iron Wall.
I'm honestly surprised that Theo is the one who is most against bringing Timon with us.
I mean,
Theo just likes seeing people's hearts break. He just likes to see that moment. Just when the shoe drops.
It does feel pretty good.
Falbin, you've always been my closest friend. We hunt rats together.
Don't bring him into it.
You remember all the rats in the bag? I helped you get those rats. You love those rats, right? They're your favorite. I helped you do that. If we're out at sea, who's gonna find you rats when we're out at sea?
Falbin notably glowers at him while he's openly sharing secrets.
Right. Shit.
Sorry,
wrong guy.
There's a couple episodes I haven't listened to, and I think I forgot that you were keeping that secret. I thought you had already told them. Damn it. I really need somebody to just send me the transcript and then like put it in ChatGPT so that I can summarize it, because it's just so much content to listen to.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? We could just delete this little conversation we just had. We can just erase that, right? Just run it back, delete it.
Oh no, I think this is gold.
Falbin nods 5 or 7 times.
Okay. So, I've clearly, I'm clearly the elephant in this room. And just kind of, I'm shuddering with fear over what my fate might be. So, I think you should.
You're a beloved NPC.
That's what
can't let you.
That's what I keep telling everybody. So I'm just gonna stare weirdly at all of you in this room until a decision is made.
Theagenes, what do you think?
Guy doesn't matter.
Hey there, I'm Theagenes. I'm Timon. You're Theagenes.
Pretty much sums up the whole character.
Yep.
I am literally letting myself sink deeper into my lotus stupor. I don't want anything to do with this decision.
Right.
Good call.
Right. Yeah.
I wish I could. Can you spare some of that?
Yeah, of course. It makes sense that you wouldn't, support me. It's fine. It's okay. You don't know me. Why would you do anything for a stranger you barely know?
It's not like your family.
No, it's not like a family or anything. Oh boy.
I like to think he's coyly looking at Megas.
Two of the party members.
I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing health potions. So, before this goes on much longer,
I say we let him come. Come on, guys.
Enthusiastic,
You're gonna fall
yes.
prey to this guy?
Think of what he can help you with, it, like improving the ballistas and doing whatever else you want to do.
I know he'd be helpful. I'm just not wanting him to come because I don't want him to get hurt. So on an aside, I'm being cold so that he doesn't get hurt because Timon's my favorite. Okay.
Oh, you're emotionally detaching yourself. It's a defense
You can't
mechanism.
hear me. This is internal for the party.
No, I get it.
No.
It's in the psychology handbook. It's you're distancing yourself from emotional vulnerability to protect yourself. It's a normal emotion.
I'm sorry
it's fine.
I said anything.
You love me. It's okay. I love you too.
Pythor right there to protect him. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what we said about my little guy, Rue. And look what happened to him.
Was Pythor right there to protect him?
I got better and I got bigger, so I'm fine.
And we had to revive you. As we all watched as a dragon took you out.
But it was fucking sweet, though.
And if I remember, you drew blood on that dragon.
Yeah.
In retribution.
That's just a flesh wound.
But how many people, other than probably Pythor, can say they've punched a dragon in the face and lived?
He's still alive out there. And now he's got a smell for our blood, and Timon is on the menu.
Okay. I am going to message Shade, and I'm going to say, I personally find the thought of Timon popping up from the floorboards of the Ultros terrifying.
Shade, just see Shade kind of like nod, like, yeah, that would be a little creepy.
Well, tell you what, Magus, I see you looking at Shade. I know you're probably speaking magically to him. It's okay. I'm gonna pretend I don't know what you're talking about, but I know you're telling something. Anyway,
do we want this kind of omniscience on board? In close quarters?
You want to let our DM in on everything?
I use my powers for entertainment.
He's completely isolated right now.
I use my powers for entertainment value only, I promise.
I've heard this before.
I thought that I had made it clear, like when discussing the idea with Timon initially, that the basilisk would be staying in the mine.
Yes. But how fun is this? So okay.
It looks like we're breaking his hopes and dreams, just crushing them to dust and having him stay here. Okay, all right.
You absolutely can decide to either bring him with you or to station him here with the basilisk. Either decision is totally fine. Because Timon is a character in this story who really wants to see adventure, he's of course going to want to go with you, but he will stay here if you want him to stay here.
I'm already going to have likely one family member on this. Magus is against.
Timon will be able to get to know Adrian. It'll be fine.
Let's bring this to a straight on vote. So we have one yay from Shade, we have one nay from Magus. Where are we at with Falbin and Theo and Theagenes?
Falbin would say yay.
Falbin's 4, okay. Theo?
If we could keep him safe, but we can hardly keep ourselves safe. Several of us already died.
Hey!
Is that a yay or a nay?
I abstain.
But no, because I know Theagenes is also going to abstain.
As long as we don't have a tie. Is Theagenes also abstaining?
I guess it'll have to be the DM who decides then.
I mean, if Theagenes is abstaining, then it's 2 for 1 against.
I mean, I guess we did like long rest, right? So I'm out of my stupor.
Yeah.
And I can't really pretend anymore.
That's a family argument.
I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote nay because he seems confusing and like he'd slow us down.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Theo, you have to vote.
It's deadlock.
So here's the thing, Theo. If you don't vote, what's going to happen is, since it's a tie, I'm just going to jump in this vat of molten lava and we'll just be done with it.
No, better yet, it's a tie. Daniel blindly is going to flip a dice somewhere, and we'll find out a couple sessions later whether or not Timon stowed away on the ship or not.
I love that. Like, it's just like a secret roll. Okay.
Yes.
Literally pops up from the floorboards.
I like that. And then
awesome.
Magus burns down the Ultros.
So it's either I surprise you with it at some point in the future, or you guys just think I'm delaying the surprise for so long.
Right.
We finally get to like Praxis. We're about to face side on. And Timon, hey guys.
Okay. So I have a is this a 50 cent? Hold on. This is it's a silver dollar. And I'm gonna flip it privately. I'm not gonna show the camera because you guys watch it, but I promise that I will abide by the landing of it. And
Well, isn't this convenient?
I want to tell you that if I ever tell you in my DM voice that I promise something, I promise. Like I do not use that word lightly in this game. So, you tell me which one is
Tails is walking out the door. Tails is leaving. Heads is staying.
So leaving, you mean going with you on the ship?
Right. Tails would be staying at the forge.
Yeah.
Heads is getting on the boat.
Okay, gotcha. All right, here we go.
There's an answer.
Yep. And you know,
Vegas is going to learn locate person just to verify that Timon is not on the boat.
Okay, I have my answer.
And we all know that Gray's going to go back and watch the video to see if he can read Daniel's expression.
It's going to be tough because it bounced off my desk, landed on the floor, and rolled for a bit, and then fell down. So when I'm looking at the results, I'm turned away from the camera, looking at the ground. So good luck.
Zoom, enhance. We're going to model your room and run physics simulations.
You guys are thinking too small. He's going to run the audio, and based on what he hears, he's going to determine how many times it rolled.
Yeah. I love this. Okay, cool. All right. Timon turns and runs into another room, and is unable to be incited except by magical means.
Okay. And I say, let's get ready to go.
Cool. Yeah. So, all right. Everybody's here. You guys start making preparations. Demetria has already been out there, sort of like coordinating with the treants in the ore deck. They got to take sort of take a walk and experience some of the waterfall action from the Falls of Archelon. Before they don't just sit in the ore deck for weeks, you know. They're out wandering around and stuff.
They're out planting little saplings around the bay.
Yeah. There's a couple of them have like some like birds' nests that have like been built in them, and so you're gonna have some different sort of life that is in the ship with you. So you guys start loading up. You've got the supplies that Valis brought, including the sacrificial animals and all that. You get underway, and you're going to just outside Astoria first, and then out into the sea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will also have commissioned Vulcan to make miniatures of both my egg chest and our Ultros map chest. Just so because I will need them for the secret chest spell when that is done.
Right. Okay. And did we say at a time that would be done?
I think you just said a few days, which is fine. So they'll be Amazon delivered.
Yeah. We'll just have them be delivered with the purple piercer. Yep. If you want to put a note on the calendar for that as well, that would be great. So you guys get underway. Vulcan pulls back the gangplank and undoes some of the rigging, and you start preparing the sails and all that. The oars are helpful in making like small navigational turns without wind. So you guys start to head out of the lake and back east towards the outskirts of Astoria. Just go to the Heartlands map, just so that we're seeing the overworld. Oh God. This is really something here. Okay, well, I don't know how accurate this is anymore. We won't worry about it. So you come past Astoria, and who kind of sits up near the front of the ship regularly? What are you guys' sort of like normal spots where you're at? I know Shade is usually at the helm.
Yep.
Theo, when he's not in his room, in a mad state of inventing would probably sit on the front of the ship.
Okay. So I'd say between
Vegas is climbing the rigging.
So I'd say between the three of you, or between you, the two of you and Rue, you see like a runner that's kind of like has a little campsite like next to the river, way up ahead, and of course, massive ship coming down this river, barely fits anything else. Sees you, immediately starts kicking dirt into the fire, gives you like a big ol' over the head wave, and then throws their pack over their shoulder and runs off to Astoria. Looks like they're gonna go let whoever was there know that you guys are coming. And so when you get to that bend in the river where you first picked up Aesop, and when Kyra went and got Aesop,
Is Aesop coming with us?
I think he planned to. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are going. You guys are going to hatch the first dragon eggs in like who knows how long.
I figure he would. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not missing that. So you pull up at that bend in the river, and Full On is there, and he's kind of like. He's doing like centaur squats. Like, I don't know, if, just like, just staying fit. And, he sees you coming around and is excitingly sort of prancing and like shadow boxing. And then who else was arriving?
Corinna.
Yeah. She is with him and just kind of trying to stay out of his way. But she like checks her bowstring, slings it over her back, and she actually like there's a sort of a branch, a low-hanging branch that hangs over the river, and she actually like runs up the tree, runs across the branch, and leaps onto the ship, and gives like a big satisfied sigh and looks around and says, yes, it's finally so happy. Thank you for calling me. Seriously.
I'm gonna like drop down and ask Shade to bring the Ultros to a stop, because I want to like go down and do a few things on land, and also tell him you should probably talk to Corinna about Demetria's presence on this ship.
Yeah. There's a little parachute kind of comes out the back of the Ultros and slows it to a stop.
I imagine there'd be just like orders and stuff.
Right. No, Shade like leans over and grabs a lever and goes like, pulls the parking brake. Yeah. You stop the ship, no problem. You're a professional sailor. And she approaches you. Shade, wow.
Shade would. Welcome to the Ultros, the legendary ship.
This is it.
It's good to have you. Although, I believe Megas warned you, I don't know if he gave you the details. There is one, probably fairly significant, complication, especially for you. We have Demetria on board as well, as an ally.
Okay.
Does that cause problems for you?
Do you want to roll an insight check?
Sure, I guess.
She just asks you if you want to roll an insight. No, just
yes, I would like to roll an insight check.
So dirty 20. It throws her for a bit of a loop. But she recovers pretty quickly. It's like it's like you just let her know that like a no, I was gonna compare her to like an ex that was invited to the same party without her knowing, but this is way worse because this ex had her friends cannibalize each other. Real piece of work. She's you're allies now.
It's a bit of a long story, which I would more than willing to tell you. I understand if it's difficult for you. I know that working with her, or even just probably being around her at all, would be difficult. I don't want to pretend to understand how that could make you feel. I know what she did to you, and your friends. However, what we're setting out to do is already nigh impossible. We've come to find that every ally and comrade we can gather makes a difference. That includes you. But now it also includes Demetria. If the worst was to happen, I don't want to be spending my final moments thinking, if only there was one fewer enemy between us and the Titans. If only we had one more ally on our side to tip the scales. The coming conflict is going to be terrible. And it's very likely going to be decided not by the largest army, but by each of the individuals arrayed on our side. So that's part of the how we've come to where we are. But all that aside, the plea I would have for you is, well, I can't ask you or even contemplate for asking you to forgive or even forget what Demetria has done. But I would ask that you look past that for a time and consider her at least a tenuous ally for the coming conflict. If we survive, there'll be time enough for recompense after. Are you still with us?
I mean, am I still with you? Yes, of course. I mean, I've wanted my whole life to be a Dragonlord, and now I maybe can be one on the ship that, like, my great granddad. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. But I mean, I guess when you think about it, we might not have even met had that not happened, and you're right. I can't forgive her for what she did to my friends, but I just can't wait to. I'm not even thinking about that. I cannot wait to just get out there and be with you guys. But I will say, if I see her crack open a book of human skin again, I am gonna kick her right off the ship. I hope you know that.
That was. I'm pretty sure we're past that part. Although, well, I don't know if something like that might come up in her helping Magus research what Lutheria's abilities are. But on her own, if she's doing it with no supervision, yeah, that's a legitimate concern.
Yeah, okay. So as long as we're on the same page there, that's okay with me. I'm not going to cause any problems. I'm going to be suspicious. I'll be wary, of course, but no,
by all means.
I'm here to adventure, and I'm here to try to save the world with you guys. So yeah, well, just point me what anything I can do. I don't know how to sail, but I am a good climber. I got a great eye, and I can do what I need. What do you need me to do?
I'll teach you everything you need to know.
I'm gonna watch you like a hawk. Cool.
Shade would like clasp her on the shoulder and be like, "It's good to have you."
Yes.
And kind of proceed on.
You are on the Ultros, but we do not grant you the rank of Dragonlord.
And meanwhile, Magus will have taken Sprout down because I believe, per our discussions, she can only use her magical abilities while rooted in Thelian soil.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, like, he will have taken her down to the ground and started his next round of communications to people to meet in Mypros. He will actually first contact Linus Evictus and ask if he would want to join.
Yeah, so you Linus answers, "Oh, hey, am I in trouble again? Well, okay, no, you told me you didn't just call and I picked up. You told me what we're doing. Gosh, Magus, I don't know. As much as I'd like to sort of make up for what I've done, I feel like I've been playing it fast and loose with my mortality these last couple months. I mean, I can't even go to a tavern without potentially getting, arrested, probably killed. I don't know. I need to think about it, but I think I'm gonna lay low still. I mean, you can count on me when stuff goes south, but I think for now I gotta keep laying low.
Magus would reply like, "This isn't anything to do with making up for what you've done. This was just an offer, like, with danger, yes, but also around people who you know would be on your side and have your back. But like, decision is entirely yours."
Let me know next time you're in the area. Maybe I'll have a different answer for you. Right now, I think it's no. Right now.
Okay. All right. He will then send contacts to Egan in Mitros and Valis, asking if Makaira is still around, and for Valis, letting Valis know that we are coming, and if she still wanted to, like, we're still looking for people to join our crew. If you, yeah.
I mean, I think Valis would reply that Makaira has entered Valis's service full time now, and Valis trusts that she is doing a good job, and she'll need her help on the ground in Mitros. But if you need extra hands, extra crew, she can absolutely get however many you need.
Okay.
But she also says, like, that's kind of you should anyway. I could have brought some the other day, but
I mean,
no. She surprised you. She surprise visited you.
Yeah.
She just says give her a number, and she'll get you the sailors.
Okay. And I will tell her, like, roughly like 10, 12.
Okay.
Something like that. And then, I mean, whatever Egan says. And then I will also, this time using Magic Mirror, open up and talk to Adrian.
Let's see. Egan?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is Egan?
Egan is the guy, basically my sparring partner. My sparring partner in Mitros.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
he. I mean, do you tell him about the end of the Oath of Peace?
No. This is like, hey, we're restarting the Door of Dragonlords. You want in?
He says the bathhouse is a lot. They really need his help right now. Okay. And yeah.
Yep. All right, and then contacting Adrian.
Okay. So what does Adrian see on his end?
I think Adrian just gets the view of the mirror, like as if he's looking out of the puddle at Magus and Sprout.
So he just gets sort of a shimmery, like wavering, like little image that. What? Hey, whoa, Magus, bro, what is this?
Hey, bro. I invented some new magic with the help of our friend here.
Hello.
I have.
Is that a talking tree?
Some serious. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I have some sober news.
And you showed up in a floating puddle with a talking tree to tell me to sober news.
To tell you that we know when the Oath of Peace is going to end.
Oh shit. Is it like really soon?
It's in 3 months.
Oh Oh shit. Okay. All right.
We, myself and my friends, have to step up our schedule on restarting the Order of the Dragonlords.
Yeah.
And we are leaving on the Ultros for that purpose.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We are joined by a great dryad of the Old Wood and Pythor.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, honestly, you could just tell me anything at this point, and I'm just probably going to believe you. Okay, cool. So, new Dragonlords, Ultros.
Right.
The piece is ending. No big deal.
Right.
Are we okay here?
I do not think that you are in any greater danger than any other family at this time.
Okay, so just, annihilation in 3 months. No big deal. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I know that you said in our discussion earlier that you felt that your time was being wasted on the farm. Do you think this is your time? Do you want to join us?
I mean, if... Oh, God. Magus, man. Were you ready for this? Like, when you first got that letter... I mean... I know you didn't know what you were getting into, but...
I thought I was. And then I was wrong.
Man, I really don't think I'm ready, but I have to. Yeah. How do I get to you?
We're coming to Mitros.
All right.
In X number of days.
I'll meet you at the docks. Yeah, I'm not gonna just sit here. I mean, should I tell them?
Of course. I maybe and offer the same invitation to Bullbug.
Okay.
We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, I mean, I think
he wants.
I know Mom is gonna want him out of here. He's been eating everything.
Yeah.
As long as you think you can feed him on the ship, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't know how long this puddle lasts, but
technically a minute, which we've gone over, but oh well.
Yeah. Okay. You're cutting out. Your puddle is cutting out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll meet you at the docks.
Okay.
Yeah. He.
And Magus. Yeah. Magus gives a sigh, and takes Sprout by the hand and rejoins the Ultros.
He looked like you.
He's my brother.
Oh, that's nice.
It will be... I don't know what I'll do if anything happens to him.
You could put him in a pot and he will regrow in 30 days. That's what I always say. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad. Like, I don't want to take everybody's time with all of, like, Magus's connections, but...
It's all right. So we have, it'll be Adrian and Bullbug and 12 sailors. Was it 12 that you asked from Valis?
Yeah, like, we certainly have room on the ship, and that would be, like, 12 sailors to man all of the ballistas if we needed to be doing other things. And then, like, plus named people and whatnot. Okie
doke. Yeah, so I'll figure out, like, what sort of, like, stat block we'll need from them. I'll do that later. But, okay, so y'all are sailing to Mitros from Astoria.
Yep.
So y'all pack back in. Get underway, and You come in, I think the river. Hold on, I should be looking at the map like you guys are looking at it. You go past like the old woods, like where Kentamane, brought you in, and then you sail through the little archipelago from the east towards Mitros to the west. The whole city is gonna know that you're there.
Oh yeah. Magus is gonna make sure of that.
However, the games are still going on, so there will be sort of like a push and pull for fame and popularity and all that. So we'll say that this whole time from the Mithril Mines to Mitros is about we'll just say it's like 3 days total. Because you're not sailing open water just until just the last bit, so your speed is low. So we will just advance forward 3 days.
Oof. I hate that calendar now.
I know, right? So the morning of the 4th, you arrive in the vicinity of Mitros. There is a Queen's contingent at or near the docks. Makaira is present, and they wave you in. Shade, this is your first time parking the Ultros in a harbor. I'm not going to make you roll because you are proficient with this and you've been sailing for a few days. What is your sort of mood coming into Mitros, piloting a ship into a city where you guys had until just recently been wanted for crime?
A little trepidatious, like he's keeping an eye out, like on any other vessels that get close to us, like who's in them, what are they doing, like are there guards on the docks, like what are we stepping into?
Yeah. I mean, there definitely are like guards. I mean, the walls of the city have guard patrols, and you guys talked to some of those guard patrols. So you see people as soon as you guys are in eyesight of the city. You see movement on the walls. I mean, it's the freaking Ultros sailing up.
Mean, like Magus is gonna do the major image thing again.
Okay, on the sail, like
he's actually going to be like standing in the crow's nest with the major image above us with like all of our faces and the words "Big Damn Heroes."
Cool. Yeah. So there's a lot of commotion, and by the time you get within earshot of the harbor, it is a buzz. Anybody who was working has stopped. There are shipbuilders, there are fishermen. Everybody has dropped what they're doing to see the Ultros return. You do not. I mean, you're there for probably like a half hour, getting like parked and situated. There is no sign of King Castus, and you cannot hear over the commotion of the harbor. But there is what? What was that?
There's no King Castus because Falvin just ganked him.
With the 9 live stealer.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, when I said that the 9 live stealer exists in this world, I didn't mean in your inventory.
I'm just preparing.
All right. Well, I'm glad you rolled a 1 on whatever that was. Anyway, okay, so who would like to roll a perception check to look up at Mount Vulcan, which the caldera of Mount Vulcan, which is an inactive volcano. Sorry, previous Dungeon Master, I love you. We begged for this to be an inactive volcano. You said no, and I totally respect your decision. But this time it's my call, and it is an inactive volcano. And the Colosseum, where the games are held, sits in this caldera at the top of the mountain. But there's flags. There's like like the 9,000 or 1,000 steps to High Hrothgar in Skyrim. There's like people like summiting up and down the mountain, coming to and from the games. who wants to make a perception check to see what's going on up there?
All right. Magus would. Yeah.
Dirty 21. Yeah, so it seems like you are here on like the last like day or two of the games. And you I'm trying to think what you see. I'm gonna say it's less what you see and more what you hear. You hear lots of like applause, but like shocked applause. Like a crowd has just seen something incredible and like crazy, and so there's like cheers, but also like yeah. Acastus has his pants fell down all the way to his ankles. Just fell right down.
Again?
Yeah. In front of everybody.
Sending to Giannis, which is like, I just heard something crazy happened at the games. What's going on?
Yeah, I remember who Giannis is. Hold on one second.
Get a play-by-play.
Of the Academy.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Right. Hey, Magus, what? What do you need? What?
Oh, I asked, like, yeah, I just heard that something crazy happened at Mount at the Great Games. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know. I heard something that they were gonna be unveiling something, but I'm not there.
Great. Anyway, so yeah, the sending spell, like, can't do much more than that. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, Makaira and her retinue show up, and there are 12, right? Is it 12?
Yep.
So there are 12. I mean, Shade, you get a look at these guys, and it's a variety of people, and I'll nail down like, you know, what they're like, you know, whatever they are later. But these are some of the most able-bodied sailors you've ever seen. I mean, you get the feeling that Valis, only needing to pick 12, was able to pick the 12. So these are not just like, you know, excited fishermen. These are like trained sailors who know what they're doing. So they come up the gangplank. They see you. They pin you for the captain.
Head down to meet them.
Yeah. They all
Welcome
like
aboard the Ultras.
they all salute like in unison. And they each like approach you and sort of like go over.
I return the salute.
Yeah. They approach you, and you get a sort of a sense for their roles based on their dress, but they introduce themselves. They introduce what their specialties are, but they let you know that they are flexible and can basically work any role in the ship. You've got, you know, you got riggers, you've got weapons training, you have quartermaster types. A few of them are even good chefs or cooks, you know.
Excellent. We wholeheartly welcome your addition to the crew. I'm excited to see you guys at work.
They are like, they express that they are honored beyond belief to be sailing aboard the Ultros, and they promise not to let you down.
And their Shade would show them down to the crew quarters so they could, you know, get situated, get settled in.
They see the treants and they go, wait, hold up. No, we didn't agree to this. We're outie. Talking trees.
Tonight, you're on binding agreement.
Damn it.
Did you read the fine print on the gangplank? It said as soon as you step onto the deck of the ship, you're wholly ours. You're done.
No, actually, like they take a peek down and they go, "So we don't have to row?"
No rowing.
They all look at each other, smile, and go, "Okay, no problem." Sounds good. Top deck only for us. Cool. Yeah.
They're
So
just top shelf sailors.
oh yeah. So you guys can add 12 top shelf sailors to your Ultros inventory. What else are we doing while we're in Mitros?
Probably would have discussed before, like, if there were any supplies that we needed to restock, just to send ahead on, like, knowledge on shopping, because we should probably pick up some potions.
And some of that we can, I know we're getting sort of running short on time.
Yeah.
Let's do a shopping like midweek. You know, if any gold you want to spend, you can spend it on Discord, and we'll do it that way.
Shade would probably point out, I imagine Megas probably would have thought of something like this too, but Shade would have specifically asked Bisque if there's anything we should bring as a gift or something for introduction to his people.
He says, do you talk to him in Draconic?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him before.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So that's just what it sounds like when he's talking. He's just kind of like hacking and spitting, and but he suggests, he actually says there's this little tavern downtown that serves this like sweet, like dark brown, like kind of milky drink, and like he's never had that at his hometowns or his home island. So if you can get a lot of that
milk, my man.
Yeah, I mean, he says whatever you call it. Yeah, you know.
Oh, we're gonna load up on some chocolate milk.
Get the Nesquik powder from the Amazon.
Yeah, so
I just like to think that, like, in a magical setting, they can have like magical preservation on these casks, so they don't like go sour while we're out at sea. So it's like we can literally just have casks of this.
yeah, I'm gonna say
Might be a little bit more expensive, but you know.
I'm gonna give you an option. Well, actually, right now, the basement level of the Ultros is still iced over because the egg is in there.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So you have a freezer.
She's like, I would like 7 barrels, please.
The shop owner says, "Well, we're closing early today, boys." That's 7 barrels of our finest chalky drink. Cool. We'll say that is a gift from the shop, as long as you promise to say that they are your favorite restaurant in the Citadel in Mitros.
They aren't gonna vie for an Ultros sponsorship.
Yeah, you know what? They might say, hey, "Do we have
their emblem on the side of the boat?"
I don't remember what.
Give me a little pendant. I'll hang it out. I'll put it on the mast.
Hell yeah! We'll decide what that is. I don't even know if I had a name for the restaurant, but you now have a pendant of the restaurant that you ate at, like the first time you came to Mitros and got chocolate milk.
There's 7 barrels of chocolate milk. Shade is like, I'll paint your names on the figurehead. Like, you want to ride around the harbor? Come on.
Yeah, the owner comes and takes a tour and makes sure the barrels are settled nicely. So, amazing. Okay. So anything else that we aren't going to do over Discord that we should handle while we're here?
Yeah. I assume that Adrian and Bulldog me to join the crew as well?
Yes, Adrian and Bullbug are now aboard. I think I have a token for Bullbug. I don't know that I have one for Adrian. I'll get that settled later. Adrian, he comes on board and he comes and finds you, and he's nervous. He's really nervous, but it's cut with a little bit of ultra excitement. Like he gets to work with one of the original Dragonlords, and like also the new ones, but he's a fanboy, so this is like a dream come true, but it's mixed with this incredible existential realization that he's just had, and understanding the dangers, a lot more than when Magus first set off on his adventure. But he's excited. And then Bullbug says, "Hey, nice cows. Those are very nice looking cows."
They are not for eating.
Oh, fine. Okay. Yes. I'm sure you have plenty of something else for me then, right?
I hope we do. Just like, in working out logistics.
Cool. You guys will get. We will settle on an amount of rations that you guys start with, and we'll. If you guys are out at sea, unless you're like. Actively doing like fishing or something, which has a chance of going wrong, you will be subtracting rations. We'll have systems set up for that next time. With everybody collected and your shopping tentatively done in the future, but now, you begin your embarkation out into the Cerulean Gulf. The entire dock is almost fallen silent now as the Ultros begins to move out of the harbor and sailing off sort of into the sunset, because you guys have been there most of the day. And what are you guys thinking as you dial in the Antikythera to the area of the dragon? And you can feel sort of the magic of the Ultros like connect with the magic of the Antikythera, and they begin to work in sync. And you aim right to some place on the horizon, and you're pretty sure that's where you're going to
go. Magus is up in the rigging, like looking out to sea and just thinking, "We're coming for you, grandfather."
Nice. What's Falbin thinking?
I wonder if it will find me out here.
The hair on the back of your neck is not currently standing up, but you do wonder when it will next. What's Theo thinking?
Theo is contemplating all of the incredible things that he's going to see, and all the ideas he's going to have, and the just raw potential of the moments that will take place in the coming journey.
How about Diogenes?
Diogenes is asking himself, could this be the beginning of freedom? And he wants to believe it, but he's afraid to believe it too.
Mm-hmm. And then Shade.
Shade standing at the helm, staring at the horizon, and watching the currents and winds. The thought just kind of intruding his almost autopilot motions. I hope that we're strong enough this time. No. We will be strong enough this time. We must be.
You look around, you see all your allies, all the connections you've made, all the unlikely friendships that have formed, the unlikely allies, and this is a ship that the last time it voyaged, it carried the Oath of Peace, but it also carried the corpses of the Dragonlords that were slain during the war. And now it ventures back out into those seas with the new Dragonlords and all the people that they've formed these bonds with, and a renewed hope, but also a desperation, because if you don't succeed, then Mitros is doomed, and who knows what the future holds for Thelia. I really want to keep going, but this is just such a this has to be where we stop. So, but I will give you a sneak peek. So, the island you're sailing to, the area of the dragon. Aesop gives you a little history lesson. He and Kyra kind of together, because Kyra has told you the story, the constellation story about the siren, the constellation of the siren. It's just this legend. It's a very like Romeo and Juliet sort of thing. I need to pull it up. I'm trying to remember where exactly it is. World info. Yeah. Islands and constellations, because I don't want to read anything incorrect. So, the legend. A lot of these are legends, you know. So, the legend goes. Kyra just says, "See those stars that look like a tree? That's the nymph. Her story is tragic. While out on a hunt, King Lucanus of Othoria stumbled upon a small grove with a single silver tree growing in the center. There he found the most beautiful creature he'd ever seen, a dryad with silver eyes. He instantly fell in love. The dryad was smitten with Lucanus as well. She agreed to marry him, even though it meant leaving her birth tree behind. But on the long journey to his palace, she grew feverish and ill. Within a week, she withered and died. Heartbroken, Lucanus ordered his soldiers to chop down the silver tree so it could be used to build a suitable coffin. But as the first axe struck its trunk, Lucanus screamed and fell dead. By marrying the dryad, he had bound his spirit to her birth tree, and so by felling the tree, he joined his wife in death." Isn't that an awful story? It's awful. Anyway, maybe we'll see the tree. Who knows? Maybe it's still there. But Aesop tells you that this island, it's very isolated out in the sea, and so it's sort of a common like flyover spot. And dragons sort of became accustomed to landing there, and then eventually, making themselves comfortable. And a few of them used it as a nesting spot. And so this is sort of a perfect place to go to hatch these new eggs. And we'll cover what happens in the 3 days, because it does take 3 days to travel there. On the third day, it's pretty dense fog across the sea. Out of the fog, a monolith, a spire that reaches perhaps 1,000 feet or more up into the sky, with a silvery glint. No island to be seen. And that's where we're in our session. Yeah. GG, y'all did it. Y'all solved my I don't know what puzzle this is. Sort of the culmination of a lot of puzzles that you've solved. A lot of me throwing awful people your way and you turning them into friends. And also weird people. Some of them
leaving them behind.
Maybe. You don't know.
Maybe.
I love that. Like, I gotta give inspiration to Shade for suggesting keeping whether or not Timon was actually on board a secret. I love it. Yes. Wow. Okay. Any shout outs for any shout outs for other inspiration or a suggestion for the name of the session?
Yeah, I mean it's super delayed, but I think I wanna put Theo up for inspiration for ostracizing the centaurs because they would not have been useful on the boat in any way.
Thank you. I feel like an unsung hero, and now is my moment of glory. So I appreciate you acknowledging that. It was quite the burden.
To be fair, though, if we know that centaurs can climb rope ladders, then they can probably climb the shit out of rigging on a ship, right? I mean, same thing.
But who's the guy up in the crow's nest? Oh, that's our centaur.
How the hell did he get there? Oh, he just climbed, you know? How else would you do it?
You've obviously never seen a centaur on a rope ladder.
Matt, if you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, there was a weird like map logistics issue where there were these centaurs in the mines when the party first got there, and they had been captured by these troglodytes and like were being cooked and stuff. It was awful. The party rescued them, but then upon coming back out to like send them on to their tribe, they realized the only way down here was down a very sheer cliff with just a long rope ladder. So the question became, how the hell did these centaurs get here? Can centaurs climb a rope ladder? Obviously they would have had to. So now that is just an innate ability of centaurs in this setting. They climb the shit out of a ladder.
Well, did they only have to go down?
I mean, well, they had to go back up to get out to the tribe.
Because I'm imagining them like rolling themselves up in it.
Oh,
like you roll yourself up in the ladder and then you let it unroll.
The first
like a fruit roll up.
The first
a
centaur
roll up centaur.
The first centaur Beyblade was born.
I call this a controlled descent.
Let her rip. So yeah, it's kind of a mystery, but yeah.
And then how they get up, it's like Riddick in the Chronicles of Riddick, you know, he wraps the chain around himself and just like uses his body weight to like roll up the chain.
I like that. There's a very ancient YouTube video of a guy playing some like Western first-person shooter, and then he sees a goat, and the goat runs into a ladder and then just starts going vertically up the ladder, and then he just dies of laughter. And I think of that every time I think about the centaurs climbing the rope, just like glitching up the rope without doing a climbing animation. Anyway, yeah, so but yes, that was great. I mean, that weird payoff for a character decision, but yes.
You asked about name for the episode.
Yeah.
I would like to put forth this room just has a bed in it.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was this room just has Falben's bed.
Well, at least you acknowledge that you were shafting him. So I mean, there's that.
Should there be some kind of reference to the double 20? Because I feel like that's pretty rare.
Will that happen again? Who knows?
God, like flawless harvest or something like that. Yeah, I don't know that we've had like first roll of the game being a crit before, but I don't think we've had double crit being like the first roll of game. So yeah,
I would be for the utilitarian title of Gathering the Crew.
Gathering the Crew. That's pretty good. I mean, that makes sense because I mean, you guys did really do that.
We could say we're going on an adventure.
I like that too. Yeah, I think something sort of descriptive of the mood of the session is yeah. I think I'm. But how about? Should we do a roll?
Oh, of course.
Just like those centaurs, get up those ladders.
So we'll do.
You guys feel free. I've got to run.
Okay,
I'll see
man.
you guys.
Well, thanks for joining, man. We'll see you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we'll do. What is it? This room just has a bed in it.
No, Falbin's bed. Just says Falbin's bed.
Falbin's bed.
Yeah, we want to quote it correctly.
And then, what did you say, Gray?
Gathering the Crew.
Gathering the Crew. And then, what was the one that Tim you suggested?
We're going on an adventure.
We're going on an adventure.
And Diogenes had Flawless Harvest.
Flawless Harvest. Davey, do you have one?
I don't know. I was gonna say. Timon stays home? Question mark.
Or what is it?
Where's Timon?
What is the Schrodinger's weird uncle or something like Schrodinger's Timon? That one's gonna eat up the algorithm. Okay, so that's 5. Who would like to roll a d5?
All right, I'll do it.
I love that.
You want to be responsible for this?
Here we go.
Go. 2. Gathering the crew. I honestly, this is an impactful session. Classic answer. Gathering the crew. It is. Amazing.
So if he doesn't show up next session, we can name next session Schrodinger's Timon.
This session is called "We Threaten the DM at Gunpoint to Tell Us Where Timon Is."
That's for when we all gather.
Oh yeah, sneak peek. We might be doing an in-person session in a few months. I don't know how. I'm sure we can figure out how that's gonna work as far as record. Do any of y'all have a not a directional mic, but I guess like a condenser mic, one that can record like just set in the middle of a table? Any of y'all have like one of those like snowballs that does that or something?
That's what I'm using right now.
Does that work like that?
I haven't tried using it in omnidirectional mode. It says it does, but yeah.
Maybe we can try it. If not, I can bring something. I'll at least bring a laptop, so I'll have some stuff. I mean, I'm so used to using a computer for like running D&D now that like even when I'm in.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, like it's just so much easier like tracking everything than doing it like on paper. So like and I've done this multiple times. If I run a game in person, I have a laptop. I have Foundry open. You know, like we have minis out on the table, but I'm tracking HP and like all this stuff. So we'll figure it out. Oh man. Well, I know we didn't get to any combat or anything, but we just ended a massive combat, so who knows? Maybe there will be combat next time. What are you guys' thoughts on the sort of cliffhangery ending there?
I mean, made sense.
Did it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It seems cool. Like,
what do you think we're doing, or what do you think? What do you think is on the horizon there?
The sun.
I mean, my thought is that's what the area of dragons looks like. It's a big, tall thing high up in the air where it's easy for dragons to land and take off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's the fortress of the Dragonlords.
That would be cool too.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
DM's like, trick, it's a sea serpent.
It's actually Praxis.
We are definitely going to like. I skipped ahead to the third day of the adventure, just assuming that you're alive by then. But we are definitely gonna like roll for potential like random encounters. So I might retcon and say that you guys were dead and never saw that thing on the horizon. Probably not. But during the travel, we will roll on a random sea encounter table. And sometime between this session and next session, I will come up with some sort of like
sea serpent.
No. Message me in Discord with anything like anything that I need to like nail down a mechanic for. Like I know we have like rations for like food, and then we have like character sheets for the sailors. Stuff like that. If there's anything that you remember, put it down so that I have sort of a homework list for next time. So, yeah. Oh man, I felt so like that sort of embarkation moment, like you guys all delivering your thoughts. I felt so like, it felt very narrative. I like that a lot.
Built something.
You've built something for sure. Whew. And oh man, that harvest.
By the way.
Yeah.
Bye.
Last week, while I was waiting for the session, I rolled like 30 times just to see like what the rough probabilities were gonna be.
Okay.
And I only succeeded like 6 of them.
Seriously.
Yeah, that 25 is pretty hard to come by.
Damn. Yeah. No. When I opened it up, I was like, "What? Okay, so I don't know that he's gonna be able to do this, but
but it worked out.
It did work out. Yeah, and Flash of Genius is really nice, and
and all the support from the team.
I know he's.
I'll flash you anytime you need it. So
There you go.
that's what I'm here for.
I know he's not Matt's not here, but like I liked his sort of dipping his toe back into the darkness to help out, because
if only Magus had more insight, he would have realized how big of a thing that was.
Oh yeah. Because you don't just not pick up the phone for your patron. So that was a very thinly veiled threat on their behalf.
Yep.
So oh man, he kind of put me on the spot with that question, but I feel like the image was evocative of what mood I was trying to pull off. Like, oh, it's pleasant, but also super freaking dark. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I guess I should stop recording, but this is fun. I'm glad we got to play, and I am planning to be here next week. If anybody isn't, let me know. We won't bore the audience with our scheduling. But let us know what you think. Drop a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, I guess you can dislike it. That's fine.
Keep it to yourself.
Or keep it to yourself.
You won't tell us about that anymore, so.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, just, you know what? You can do whatever you want. But appreciate you. So, bye.